What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I know I might look a little crazy. That's because I just have foundation on because we are going to be trying the new E.L.F 16-hour Camo Concealer. So this concealer is a whopping $5. It says on their website that this is their most full coverage long wear formula ever. It says it is high coverage and crease resistant. So we are going to put it to the test. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how it wears on camera, and then I'm just gonna take you guys throughout my day with me. I have to run some errands and stuff, and I'll just do a couple check-ins and just kind of see how this concealer wears. I don't think I'm gonna wear it for a full 16 hours because I'll probably be asleep by then, but we'll see how many hours we can make this concealer last. So I actually got two shades. I got one shade for under the eyes and then one shade to contour with. So I got the shade Light Beige for under my eyes, and I got the shade Rich Chocolate for contour. So online it looks like they have about 18 shades. It looks like a pretty good range for concealer. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. I just have my foundation on. I have my Dior Face and Body and then the normal primers that I use just because I wanted to have a base on that I know I can trust, so we can really evaluate this concealer. So this is the tube that it comes in. It's really pretty basic packaging, but I actually like it. I'll compare it to the size of the Tarte Shape Tape. It's actually, okay, so it's a little bit shorter than the Tarte Shape Tape. So it has in here 0.203 fluid ounces, whereas the Tarte Shape Tape has 0.38 fluid ounces. So it is a little bit less concealer, but again, it's for $6. So yeah, let's open it up and see what the applicator looks like. Okay, wow, this is actually really similar to the Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm just gonna do under the eyes and then a little bit down the nose. Wow, okay. It's super thick. It actually already reminds me of the Tarte Shape Tape with just the consistency and how full coverage it is. We'll see how it blends out, but that is crazy. It's definitely a thicker consistency, just like the Tarte Shape Tape. And we'll go down the nose and then a little bit on the center. I actually really like this shade because it has a kind of yellow undertone, which I feel like does a really good job of canceling out dark circles. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my Juno & Co sponge, the velvet sponge, and blend out the concealer. So we'll see. It's actually blending out really nicely. Definitely with this concealer, I feel like a little goes a really long way. I actually really enjoy how this is blending out so far. I'm curious to see if it's gonna crease or how it's gonna work with powder. That is so full coverage, that's crazy. Wow, that blended out really well. So it looks like it's already drying down a little bit, so it's definitely not a more dewy consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that darker shade in Rich Chocolate and do some contouring with it. I'm definitely gonna just use a little bit because I learned quickly that a little goes a long way. So we'll see. Woo. Okay. The shade might even be a little bit dark for me. So we'll see. I hope it blends out well. Wow, that blended out really well. I really like that. That is I definitely could have gotten a little bit lighter shade, but it blended out pretty well, and I really just barely used any. That's crazy. Okay, I do notice though, if you let it sit there and dry out, it does become harder to blend. So this is definitely one of those concealers where you gotta just put it on and blend right away, or it'll be a little bit more difficult to blend. However, I do have a couple concealers that are like that, but that's just good to know. So it was a little bit more difficult to blend once I let it set. I'm actually gonna take that light shade again and just kind of clean up under that contour a little bit, just because, see, on this side it blended fine. I don't even really need to clean up that much, but on this side, because I let that concealer sit, it was a little bit harder to blend out. I do feel, however, that this shade is a little bit too dark to contour my nose with, so I don't think I'm going to contour my nose. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set it. I do feel like this concealer has already kind of set itself. It's definitely drying down, so I am kind of afraid to see what powder does with it because I feel like it doesn't really need that much powder. What I actually might do is not bake with it because I feel like if I were to bake with it, then it would be a little bit too dry. Because as you can see, I hope that the camera is able to pick it up, but it actually looks like it already set itself. So it's not dewy or anything. I'm just going to take my normal Coty Airspun powder and I'm just gonna take a smaller fluffy brush and just lightly set the under eyes. I don't want to do baking because this is definitely more on of a drying concealer, which I also feel like Tarte Shape Tape is the same way. I actually don't love Tarte Shape Tape just because it is pretty drying, and I feel like whenever I bake with it, my under eyes end up being really dry. So we'll see. So I'm really just like barely setting it with my Coty Airspun translucent powder. I'm not gonna bake or anything. And then I'm gonna set the rest of my face with my Urban Decay All Nighter powder. And yeah, I'm going to finish the rest of my face and then I will show you guys the finished product. Okay, I am back. So, okay, this is my finished look, and yeah, the concealer is still doing really well. I don't see any creasing. I'm really excited to see how it lasts throughout the day. So I'm just gonna go ahead and run some errands. It is 11:34 right now, so I'll do some check-ins throughout the day, see how the concealer is wearing. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how it does. Yeah, I will see you guys in a little bit. What's up, guys? I am just doing a little check-in for you. It is 1:55. I just went to the grocery store, got some groceries. Yeah, the concealer is doing really well. So I'll just give you guys a little close-up. There's a little creasing, but honestly, I haven't found a concealer in the world that just doesn't crease. But this is like really minimal creasing though. Like, it's barely creasing and it's staying full coverage, not drying out. It stayed on my contour as well. I'm really liking it. So, I mean, I don't know, I'm gonna do another check-in later tonight, but so far it's looking really good, you guys. Like, I think this is gonna be my go-to concealer, especially, probably not for day to day, just because it is so full coverage, but I think this will be perfect for going out, and it's literally only $5. Like, that's crazy. Okay, E.L.F, I freaking see you. What is up, guys? Just doing another check-in. It is 6:35 now. I just made myself some mac and cheese, so I'm gonna go eat dinner. Concealer still holding up great, y'all. It did crease a little bit, but not any more than my normal concealer would crease, actually less than. And it's just so full coverage and it's staying so well, I swear. The longer I wear this concealer, the more I like it. So I'm gonna do a final check-in like right before I go to bed and let you guys know my final thoughts. What is up, guys? So I am doing my final check-in. It is, hold on. It is 8:50, so I've had this concealer on since about 11 and I love it. It's doing so well. It's actually staying on better than my foundation. I have a little discoloration in my forehead, but as far as under my eyes and even my contour, it stayed really well. So I would say my overall thoughts on this concealer is I love it. I think it's definitely going to be my go-to concealer for when I go out, especially just when I want to have more full coverage. I definitely don't think I'm going to use it every day just because it is full coverage, but I don't know, I really enjoyed it. I like this more than Tarte Shape Tape 100%. I feel like Tarte Shape Tape creases a lot on me and it's really drying. However, I did not bake. So I did bake a little bit under my cheeks, but I didn't bake under my eyes because if you saw in the beginning, it did kind of set itself. So yeah, I mean, that's my final thoughts on this concealer. I definitely recommend it to you guys, and it's only $5. Like, that is such a good price. So yeah, E.L.F, good job with this. You did a great job with this concealer. thank you guys so much for watching. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay updated. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe to my channel to see more videos. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.
Pretty soon, I'ma take your phone, or you should hide it in your pockets until you get home. Don't wanna see no tweets.